JF Stretford Paddock, this is the paper talk. As you can see, I'm not at Old Trafford. I'm in my garden, on my own, isolating. But you know what? I can do this. I can film. I can report. I can do a lot. Don't worry about it. I can write the theme tune. We're okay. In terms of the weather, yeah, it's mild. And doesn't matter if it rains because I'm just going to my kitchen. The news, obviously, this morning centres around Jaden Sancho, the saga, the drama. It's all come to an end. Manchester United and Borussia Dortmund agreeing a fee of around £73 million for the attacker, winger, whatever you want to call him, for the Manchester United player soon. Now, there's been some sort of disparity between the reports on what's happening with the add-ons. Some people or some reports claiming that it's £73 million plus £5 million in add-ons. Others saying that it's more or less just £73 million. And what it seems to be is it's £73 million plus £5 million in add-ons. But the add-ons are sort of what you class as unlikely. They're not add-ons in terms of, you know, when he makes 10 appearances for Manchester United, Dortmund get £1 million, or when he scores a goal. It seems to be structured around that sort of add-ons where you're looking at maybe the sort of Anthony Martial type add-ons where if he wins the Ballon d'Or or if he wins the treble or whatever. There's reports this morning, Jamie Jackson and Fabrizio Romano in The Guardian saying Jadon Sancho is poised to finally join Manchester United after initial transfer fee of £73 million. The deal includes £5 million in add-ons, but they have been described as quite difficult to reach. So it looks like it is going to be closer to the £73 million mark. Obviously, a lot less than what Dortmund were asking for last summer. Last summer, they wanted around I think it was around €130 million, £120 million, maybe £108 million with a few add-ons there. Lots of reports going on about how Manchester United have saved basically €35 million. I'm not as happy about that as some would be. I'd rather we'd have got him last season. I think he could have pushed us over the line when it came to certain competitions, maybe the FA Cup, the Europa. Would have even been in the Europa if we'd have had a player of the quality of Jaden Sancho. But he's here now. We've spent the money on him, or we're getting him in. The saga that has rumbled on and on and on has finally come to an end. I mean, it seems like I've been reporting to you guys about Jaden Sancho, or Jason Sanchez as he's been called by some presenters on this channel, including myself in the past, for the past 18 months. And we've always been at this point where we know he wants to come, United want him, Dortmund are open to selling him, but Dortmund want a bigger fee than Manchester United are willing to pay. That's gone out the window. They've made an agreement, £73 million. He's coming. The only sort of questions now are what shirt number he's going to wear. Now, there was all sorts of stories going back and forth yesterday evening. Joe went live with the news, and I was like, oh, look, Joe, look, he's going to get the number 7 shirt. It's been reported. Then there was a bit of backtracking over there. I think David Ornstein at first had said he could be getting the number 7 shirt, then said actually that was based on the 2020 deal. When we were trying to get him last summer, it was reported that we would have took the number 7 shirt. A certain Edinson Cavani has now come and taken that shirt, so it's not clear over whether Cavani or Sancho will be getting the number 7 shirt. Reports this morning saying that the player is asked to wear the number 7 shirt United, but no decision has been taken yet. The shirt is worn by Edinson Cavani, who signed a fresh 1-year deal towards the close of the season, and it just goes on to say that you know, Cavani was banging him in towards the end of the season with 15 goals at a strike rate of 100 goal every 129 minutes. Jaden Sancho, of course, was on absolute fire for Dortmund and towards the end of the season. Hopefully, those two can combine for this season, this coming season, and bring United the goals regardless of who's wearing the number 7. Yes, you'd want your marquee signing to wear that number 7 shirt, but it has been a bit of a kiss of death for some of our signings, hasn't it, recently? I think there was Angel Di Maria took the number 7 shirt, Memphis Depay, Alexis Sanchez. I'm not saying that Jaden Sancho is going to fall into those brackets, but maybe you should just let him have a different shirt if Edinson Cavani wants to keep the number 7 one. So attention now turns to who else is going to be joining him. It's highly likely United are just going to sign Jaden Sancho, and let's face facts, we need more signings than just the former, can I call him that, Dortmund man? Maybe not now, he's still a Dortmund player at the minute, innit? We need to bring in reinforcements elsewhere. Now, one player that has been linked with us is Eduardo Camavinga, the Rennes midfielder, and he's sort of sent the internet into a bit of a frenzy by liking a post on social media about Jaden Sancho joining Manchester United. I mean, what was going on social media last night? We even saw Craig Norwood make a return. It was all happening, wasn't it? And obviously, the story being broke the day before we saw Marcus Rashford almost breaking the Sancho story. So it's all been popping off on it on socials. Eduardo Camavinga's liked a post about Jaden Sancho joining United. So people have put 2 and 2 together and come up with Camavinga's joining Manchester United. That's got to be that. I'm not so sure that is going to happen, but we have been linked with him. Obviously, a fantastic talent, only 18 years old, and has already made, I think, 95 professional appearances. So he's obviously got a lot of games under his belt for such a young player. He's been linked with Manchester United. He's also been linked with Real Madrid. He's also been linked with Bayern Munich and, of course, PSG. Paris Saint-Germain are linked with pretty much everyone. The worse than us for getting linked with players. You think we're bad? Well, look at PSG. They're linked with everyone. So there's talk that maybe that this is a sort of, one of those where we're going to have to go toe-to-toe with the likes of Bayern Munich, with the likes of Real Madrid, with the likes of PSG. Now, the problem with that is, of course, you go into toe-to-toe with PSG, they've got unlimited funds. We were speaking about this the other day, so it's going to be one of those where we'll have to wait and see, does the player want to move to Manchester United? Is it Manchester United's interest real? Is it solid? Or is this just paper talk, as we say? I think Rons are pretty much resigned to losing him if he goes. Their manager was speaking the other day. I think Ganesio said that we've already stressed several times that we cannot afford to remain in this situation concerning an international player like him, whatever that means. So you can look at that either way, but it seems that if they know that if big money comes in for him, they're going to have to sell. Whether that big money comes from Manchester United, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid or Paris Saint-Germain, we'll have to wait and see. But one thing's certain, Manchester United do need more players than just Jadon Sancho. And in that vein, we also are looking at a defender. And it seems Raphael Varane has sort of come to the front of the list of defenders we've been linked with. And that interest, that likelihood is growing. It's growing, this sort of story, the momentum that Raphael Varane could be coming to Manchester United. Again, with all these stories, though, there's other teams interested. And it's PSG who seems to be looking at him. But PSG can't buy everyone. Neither can Manchester United. But they can't. So we'll have to wait and see whether Raphael Varane ends up at Old Trafford. But there are some pretty solid reports about this. It's been going on now for quite a little while. James Ducker in the Telegraph was saying that there is solid interest from Manchester United in Raphael Varane, that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a big fan and wants to try and bring him to Old Trafford. So it looks like there's something happening here with this. And around the fees believed to be around 50 million quid, because obviously Raphael Varane has 1 year left on his contract, so he could leave Real Madrid for nothing next summer. So it's not like he's going to go for ridiculous money. He is one of the most successful defenders, can I say it, of all time. I mean, he's won the lot, and he's, what is it, something like 4 Champions League, 3 La Ligas, the World Cup, just everything. You can, all the domestic honours in Spain, not just the La Liga as well. He's just won loads of trophies, and he's a very good defender. And I think, you look at his age, 28 years old, still got a lot to offer. Was one of the most sought after centre backs in the world. United were in for him when he went to Real Madrid. Ferguson was meant to be a big fan. That's how long ago it was. Alex Ferguson was manager, but he's still got a lot to offer. And it seems, as reports indicate, that Manchester United are very much interested in him, and a deal could be made for Raphael Varane. On the sort of going out front, a lot of the talk centres around Paul Pogba. Is Paul Pogba going to stay? Is he going to sign a new deal? He's obviously another one who's been linked heavily with a move. He's got 1 year left on his deal. A lot of speculation going around. Some speculation in the papers that maybe there's a swap deal with Juventus and Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo. I don't like to say Cristiano Ronaldo like it was going to be R9. Obviously, it's Cristiano Ronaldo. But I don't know if that's going to happen. The stories at the minute around Pogba are sort of looking at the French team and what's going on with them. They've had another meltdown, because no one quite does a tournament meltdown like the French. And apparently all the parents and families were kicking off when they got knocked out of the Euros the other night, with talks of Rabiot's family and Pogba's family and Kylian Mbappe's family having a bit of a row. I don't know what that means for Paul Pogba's future at Old Trafford. Probably means nothing, to be honest with you. But it's certainly, quite intriguing. And he always seems to do this at a major tournament, don't they, France? They did it in 2006, where the players more or less took over the squad from Raymond Domenech, the team, and started, dictating what was going on, and they actually got to the World Cup final. Did it again in 2010 when they all fell out. I think Patrice Evra was at the centre of that. I don't know how responsible he was, but there was a mega meltdown in South Africa. So yeah, they do like to have a bit of a fallout, but that doesn't mean that Paul Pogba's suddenly going to stay at Manchester United or going to go. I think it's almost irrelevant. It's just a lot of the talk in the papers have been looking at that this morning. So we'll have to wait and see. There's also other reports as well that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, despite the fact that he has been given money to spend, if he does want to bring in a CDM, which a lot of people are talking about, and a centre-back, which seems to be his priority, then he may well have to sell players to buy. He may well have to release some funds, because he doesn't have the funds or the transfer budget to do all those signings that he'd want to do. United have a lot of players on the books. The most obvious player to move on would be Jesse Lingard. Reports again indicating that he could be heading to West Ham. A lot of clubs interested in him. He was on absolute fire towards the end of last season. Since February, I think he was at 9 goals and 4 assists for West Ham. So he's a player that could be moved on. Talk of him going for around £30 million. That could help fund some more transfers. Obviously, as a fan, you think the Glazers have got our money, the club's money. They should be sanctioning deals. They should be giving Ole Gunnar Solskjaer the backing he needs, and we shouldn't have to sell any players because the owners are still taking dividends and they're still, paying off these debts they've got us into. But that's just the nature of the beast at the minute. It looks like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer may have to move a couple of players on, or at least one player on, if he's going to make all the signings he needs to make, whether that is Eduardo Camavinga, Raphael Varane, or any others. There are other names being linked with us as well. And as always, we'll keep you posted if there are any developments on any of those transfers. But the main news this morning, obviously, Jaden Sancho is coming to United, 73 million. We know all that anyway, but could other players be joining him? This has been the Paper Talk, not from Old Trafford, but from sunny Salford. I've been Jay Motti. Don't forget to hit like, share and subscribe, and hit that notification bell as well. So when news breaks, we'll go live and you'll get that notification. So make sure you're hitting that. Thanks for watching.